What's up, guys? It's Megadan29. Today I wanted to talk about a subject. A video for me where I'm just speaking. A little bit different than my gameplay. But I want to talk about a subject today that goes around a lot. And finally, I was watching some Retro Rivals this morning and it made me go, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk about this. And that subject is video game collecting worth it? Let's jump right into it. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about why I do collect and why I do what I do and why I do it the way I do it. So I've been asked the question, why do you buy physical stuff, which is obviously way more expensive, and why don't you just play on like RetroPies, modded SNES Classics, NES Classics, etc.? And the reason for that is, for one, I want to play on OG hardware, and I want to play it the way that I played it when I was a kid, or what I didn't experience when I was a kid. I want it to look the same, I want it to play exactly the same, and I want to play with the exact same things. Like, for instance, I don't want to play on an SNES Classic where I'm using like an Xbox 360 controller or something like that. And that's not to throw shade at anybody else who does that. That's just not what I want to do. I want to try to emulate exactly what it was like when I was a kid. So then that leads me into then, why do I collect? Why do I buy them? Well, I'm kind of a collector, and I like having the games as well. I'm not just a player. I mostly play games, but I also like to have them as well, ones that are special to me. And now, along with the whole time I've started collecting, I've also gotten so many things from people that reminds me of them, and I've also played through things like, say with Steve, which is the one I was talking to about some of the time, is when I play Road Rash, I told him I think of him. Or when I play Streets of Rage 3 now, I might think of Captain Algebra because we did Mega Powers. But me and Steve played through Road Rash 2 at the same time, or Road Rash games at the same time, so that sort of reminds me of him. So there's that stuff. And then as for like posters, Nintendo Powers, and just all the things that Nintendo had back in the day, it just reminds me of a really great time in my life from when I was a child, a very great time in life that I just never really want to truly let go of. It was an awesome time. I loved that time. I had such a great childhood, and I love to have all the stuff still. And like I said, I really like to experience the things that I never got a chance to play, like Scat or something like that on the NES, which I just recently did. And also, now that I'm more talented at games nowadays, I can pull off no death runs and other things like that also. So that's also a thing of why I would really like to collect and play these games. And now to get into, is video game collecting worth it? And the whole reason that I'm making this video. And I was watching the Retro Rivals video, and they just talked about a lot of, and this comes up a lot in the community when I talk to people about this subject, is investing. Everybody talks about the investment of it. And a lot of the argument here that I guess I just don't understand, and not the way that I am, is people are very quick to like, well, this game's $10 too much, and this game's $15 too much, and this game is maybe even $5 too much. I mean, some people are very, very, very stingy with how much they want to spend on it. And I guess what I feel like from an investing standpoint is, at least for myself, is I think it's silly to think that way. Because investing, thinking in that sort of way, might sound smart, but to me, investing would mean that you're planning to sell. Because say you're on Robinhood or you're on E-Trade and you're buying stocks. You're never buying stocks to just keep them and just have them forever. You're buying stocks for to find the right time to sell. You want it to go up so you can sell. You take that money, you buy something else that's low. You want that to go up, you want to sell, and you want to ride with the waves, right? And you want to keep making money. Well, with video games, I feel like all of us are not doing that. I feel like all of us are either collecting every single game you can get, or you're collecting to play like me. And I don't think any of us ever have the intentions of honestly selling our collections. I think that we're all going to take them with us. I think it's going to go with us to the promised land. No, we're going to leave it here. But I think we're not going to get rid of it. That's what I think. I think that we're all extremely passionate about this stuff, and I think we want it. So that brings me to the point of saying I think it's kind of weird to look so hardcore at $10 or $15 according to price charting, and if you really want something, just get it. Like, I think we think too much about little things. Because let me say this. I'm not saying that something can be $50 over what it says on Price Charting or eBay, and I'm gonna, yeah, I want it. Cool, I'm gonna pay the money. No, that's not what I do. Obviously, when I go out and I shop, or I'm at a convention or something like that, I obviously look at Price Charting and eBay, and I look at the sold items, and I see kind of, okay, ballpark, what's this go for, right? And then I kind of just go for it. And if I really want it, I just get it. You know what I mean? I don't put too much thought into it. I don't have to always get the better end of it. I just, if I want it and I want to play it and it's going to be sitting on my shelf forever, that's what I want. You know, it does. I don't put that much thought into it. I just don't understand, I guess, why so much investment thought is put into something. Because I just think about, like, how much money is wasted throughout the day. Do you think that hard when you go to pick up Starbucks coffee all the time? Because, you know, you drop $7 every time you do that. You know, that probably, some people more, but probably like $7. Or when you run to McDonald's and you grab a couple burgers and something to drink or something, you're spending like $10. Like, do you think that hard about that stuff? Because I feel like people have no problem doing that very temporary stuff of just running real quick and getting some food instead of waiting till you get home. But a video game you have forever. Like, and you can always resell it too. I mean, if you really have buyer's remorse, you can resell it too. So I always think it's so crazy how much thought is put into this stuff. And is video game collecting worth it? I mean, how much is it worth to you? Nothing really to me. And I'll just tell you the way I am in life. Money is just money, man. Don't get me wrong, it's important, but only to a certain extent. It doesn't go with us anywhere. And you might as well do things you want in life and have things you want in life, because we're only here temporarily and we're not here for a very long time. And so I don't put that much thought into 10 or 15 bucks. You know, I just, if I want it, I get it. You know, and you obviously take care of your adult stuff, your bills and your things like that. But money, you're always going to make more money. And there's always going to be more. So why not just get that thing that you want that you'll have forever? I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to say. And if we, this is what drives me nuts even more. Some of the same people that ask me these questions or make videos about this stuff, and this is not shade thrown at anybody. I'm not trying to be rude, but they'll go to conventions, but yet they try to wheel and deal all the time. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. Because if you're looking at it from an investment point of view, which is what we always want to do, an investment point of view, going to a convention is completely wrong. That would be completely wrong to do. Because let me tell you, when I went to Southeast Game Exchange, we didn't rent a car this time, but let's just say we did, because I usually do. It was only because they canceled on me, the only reason I didn't get a car. So I just took mine. So I will spend $300 on a car, $200 or $300 renting a car for the whole weekend and getting it back. I'll spend $200 or $300 on the hotel stay. And then I'll spend, let's just say, $100 for me and Megan for the whole weekend on the weekend passes. And then you got food, then you got gas and all this other stuff. So you're easily, sometimes I find ways to cut corners. You know, I might not take my car. I got a media pass to the last show, so I didn't have to pay for a pass. So there's things that I figure out. But, you know, most of the time, it runs you about $500. Well, from an investment standpoint, wouldn't it be easier just to sit at home and order off of Mercari and eBay and OfferUp, get the games you want, and just not go to conventions? That wouldn't be very much fun, though, would it? So you obviously are going there because you want to build memories, you want to go see stuff, you want to travel, you want to experience something. Like me and my wife, we have a really happy time going and seeing things together and spending time with each other. And money can't buy that stuff, man. Money is not as important as that stuff, as memories and things like that. And memories are something that stay with you for a very long time, unless you get very ill and you start forgetting things. But otherwise, it goes to your grave. You can take pictures, you can do videos, you can do all this stuff. And money doesn't have a price on that, in my opinion. So sometimes when it comes to video games, I just don't understand why video games is the thing that we think so hard on. Like, what about people that smoke cigarettes? Like, do any of you out there smoke cigarettes or anything like that, where you spend $10 a pack any given day? I would say most smokers probably buy a pack every other day, right? So, I mean, you're doing that. How about people that drink beer? You're spending $10 every time you go get anything, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like a 6-pack and stuff like that, you're basically at $10. $7 to $10, if not more, depending on what you're drinking. Do you put that much thought into that? So it kind of, in a weird way, just kind of drives me nuts how people, it's like video games is that thing that you can't cross that barrier, but you can do all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird. You know, I definitely see that, and I guess I don't think that way. I would urge you guys to not put so much thought into it and just kind of have more fun with your collections and just buy what you want and buy what you think's worth it. If this game's worth that, then do it. If that trip's worth it, do it. As long as you can afford it. If you can afford it, man, do whatever you want with your money. Do what you want, man. You want to buy a bunch of games? That makes you happy, and that's cool with your family, and that's, or you live by yourself, whatever you do. Hey, go ahead, man. Do what you want with your money. It's crazy to me that people always go, is video game collecting worth it? And it's always all this stuff about money and how the prices are going up and stuff like that. And it's like, is it really that important? Because, I mean, honestly, I think you can tell yourself this. If you are truly worried about all the money and stuff, everything's going up, guys. And I don't see it coming down. Like, rare stuff like Dracula X that went in a matter of 2 years has went from like 110 to 300. I don't see that going back down to 110. That's just not going to happen. So, worst case scenario, go out and buy these things that you want, and if you have buyer's remorse, then just sell it for what you bought it for. You got to play it, you got to have it for a little bit, take a picture of it, and you sold it. You know what I mean? Like, hook a buddy up or something. I just don't understand why all of this thought is put into this. It's not new. It's not something that's going to change. It's just video games. Like, just buy them. Like, you'll go out and do you ever go to a store and go, that's a cool Mario shirt, I want that, and it's like $20. Nobody has a problem with doing that. Do you put that much thought into buying your shirts? How about people that go out and buy shoes? That's another thing. People spend hundreds of dollars on shoes. Do you put that much thought into that? You know, do you have to pay only this for it, or you will not get those shoes? You know, it's just, it's so weird to me that video games seem to be that almost like bad thing. Like, oh, you spend that much on video games? It's just weird to me. It's so odd. So that's something I wanted to say to you guys. None of that is to be throwing shade at anybody, though. Nothing like that. Everybody has their own way of living. Everybody has their own thoughts. These are just my thoughts, and I've been enjoying the videos like Retro Rivals. Good job. That was an awesome video by you guys. Seems like you guys live by a pretty awesome standard. You're an awesome couple. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I'm glad to be a part of this community and everything they do. But that is something that I have heard on a regular basis, and I'm always like, why are we making a video about this? You know, so finally, I'm going to make a video about it just to kind of hear some responses. And this is an open tag, man. Go ahead and tag me in this. I want to hear your thoughts on this, or if you just want to put a comment down below, I will read it. And just tell me your thoughts on it. If you do think it's silly to spend a lot of money on video games and it's dumb, and you tell me what you spend your money on, you know, then. And if you don't mind me asking, and just what is more important then? Like, what's your thing? Do you go out and buy DVDs? Do you constantly go out to the bar all the time? Is that what you like to do? Because, man, people can drop $100 at a bar any given night, man. Once you get some food and some drinks, and you bought this couple something, and you bought them something. It just seems like there's so many ways. You can go out to a baseball game or any kind of sporting event, you're dropping $100-something bucks, and that stuff, is that more important? Or everybody's got their thing, because I think that stuff's cool too. But it's just like, it's almost like there's something wrong with you if you buy video games, and you have to buy what they're worth on price charting. And you're kind of an idiot if you just buy them for this. And if you go on eBay, you're an idiot, you know? It's just like, really? Because I'm pretty sure I could like look at everybody's life and go, kind of dumb that you do that. Did you have to go get that McFlurry and that vanilla latte? Did you have to go to Starbucks every fucking day? You know, it's like, I feel like you can do that with everybody, and everybody would have their thing that you're nodding your head at, you know, but to each their own. But I wanted to come out with a video like this. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. And please give us responses. I would love to hear it. So you guys are awesome. Take care. I love this community. This is all positive vibes. I don't mean this in a bad way at all. And God bless, guys. Take it easy.